Enterprise TV, a tradition of truth. Middleman.
Hello and welcome to Middlemen of Jurors. I am Olajumake Alaode James. It's our Christmas episode today, and I am blessed amongst men. Today on the show are jurors Emeka Madunagu, who is going to Nnamdi Kanu's cell, as well as debutants Tochukwu Ezukama and Elvis Elimihele, who both are traveling to Rivers State. In a moment when we come back, I will be examining why Nigerians are buying the Naira in Nigeria. Please stay with us. Do not go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Middleman.
Welcome back to the Middlemen of Jurors. My case today is a very peculiar one. Right now in the news, President Tinubu reduces public transport by 50%. Free train rides during the Yuletide, and his Minister of Mineral Resources, who turned himself to Minister of Information and Transportation to deliver this good news, said all their arrangements with transport owners does not include air flights, as flights are luxury and they're only trying to alleviate the suffering of the masses. Sir, a lot of people find the money to travel by air to avoid being kidnapped on our highways. Don't be saying we like to fly like that. Also in the news, Port Harcourt refinery has resumed operations. Yay! They say we should expect the first batch of refined petroleum after Christmas. I'm wondering if price of fuel will come down soon, or as they told us that the Dangote refinery will not mean reduction in prices of fuel, will it be the same of the same? Closely related to this last two pieces of information is the news that our security operatives have shut down 636 illegal refineries, saving Nigeria 21.7 million liters of crude oil, costed at 54 billion naira. Congratulations, Nigerians. At least some things are looking bright. But I have a very critical issue to examine today. Why are we still buying Nigerian naira in Nigeria? They're saying it's the ghost of a Mayfield, but we have a new Minister of Finance and CBN governor. Why are we not getting answers from them? My verdict: Nigerian government must work for all Nigerians, and it will only happen when citizens demand accountability at all times. How, you may ask? First, by asking questions. Secondly, by actively participating in governance. I know not all of us are interested in politics, I'm not, but we can all actively contribute our voices to change the face of governance, and trust me, they hear us. I mean, you think saying our fluke say government, they are in with Chisco to carry us travel at 50% of the real cost. I know we juju with that.
Yeah, so basically, I think the government needs to come really clean and tell Nigerians what its intentions are concerning this, because the feedback already is showing that there's nothing like that. The expected rush of the 5 million targeted travelers is not there. You know, people have gone to the parks. The Labour Party's presidential candidate for 2023, Peter Obi, tweeted today that he commissioned people to go to the parks in various parks in Lagos, Abuja, Onitsha. And there was nothing like that. There was nothing like that. The transporters said they were not aware of anything like that.
Including Chisco?
All of
because
them.
The federal government has brought out a list of the transport owners that they have negotiated with.
Chisco has a park in Onitsha.
Yeah.
So if there's anywhere, if you go to Onitsha House of Chisco Park, it's a landmark. So if they are saying that they are not aware, so from where are you taking the people and to where are you taking them? So I believe that these knee-jerk reactions to things, it's very wrong, because you know that there are certain things associated with the end of the year, with Christmas time, with the Yuletide, and you should plan. One of the things, ugly things, is scarcity of anything in any way. If it's not scarcity of petrol,
so it's scarcity of Naira.
It's scarcity of Naira.
Yes.
But right now, we've been able to control scarcity of petrol.
Juro Emeka, why are we buying Naira in Nigeria?
Why are we buying Naira in Nigeria? It's because people are not sure that the Supreme Court's reversal of its verdict will still hold. So there are people holding on to Naira notes, the new Naira notes, just to tide over till January. which is what I believe. And secondly, the government is not coming clean to tell us why, what it has found out concerning the volumes it has released, where the money has gone to, and who has what, and who doesn't have what. So I think the government, there's something the government is not telling us in between.
The thing is that supposedly the reduction in prices of interstate travel is to ameliorate the suffering of the masses. That's a very superficial and, of course, ineffective way to ameliorate the sufferings of the masses, because the problem plaguing the Nigerian economy and the attendant suffering of the masses demands more profound, more fundamental solution than just talking about reduction in prices. So I think it was mere grandstanding, cheap political grandstanding by the APC administration. And then the thing is that it wasn't followed through. The bus companies are not involved. The transportation unions are not involved. Nothing is happening. So in the end, it will go.
No, but the government said that they spoke with,
No, but they can say anything. The question is, what is happening on the ground? What is there on the ground?
No, because you said they are not involved. I want Labour to come out and say that they are not involved, because I would, give the government the benefit of the doubt that they will not say we have spoken to transportation owners if they haven't.
The transportation owners are not the transport unions. They work hand in hand, but they are not exactly.
Who determines the prices?
The somehow the union determines the prices. But if you cut prices by 50%, there will be this surge towards bus stations. Bus stations will be overflowing with.
But I've gone there.
The horse has bolted from the stable because the already increased prices. So what are you subsidizing? Is it the hike?
Yes, now is the hike.
You can't subsidize the hike because you can't expect.
There will always be the hike, because normally buses go from Lagos to the east, and then they have passengers to transport from the east to Lagos. But during the U-tide, they go to the east.
Everybody's
people
come back
to Lagos, so you have to double your prices, no matter how humanitarian you choose to be. So the hike must be there, but the question is, what are you reducing in the hike? Buying of Naira, when there was this change of Naira, the coloration of the Naira, we were told that 18 billion Naira was earmarked for printing new Naira.
Can you imagine?
So where is that money? If it's been judicially spent, by now the old Nairas must have been out of circulation. But you still have a lot of yes.
You're talking about the acts of the last administration. There's a new civilian governor. There's a new minister of finance. So if Emefiele did wrong, I keep on calling him Emefiele. If he did wrong, he's being held. So how come Cardozo is treating us the Emefiele way?
We keep talking about differences in administration, but we forget that these are the same individuals wearing different labels. The continuity, even it's the same set of human beings that populated the Buhari administration that's also dominating this administration.
No, I disagree.
So, comfortably you can, but that's my own opinion.
Cardoso is different from Emefiele, very much so.
They are the same kind of human beings. They are the same kind of.
Okay.
They
superior arguments.
My fellow jurors, I am surprised that we are discussing about the urgency in releasing the 50% reduction in the transportation for Nigerians to enjoy the U-tide in their respective village. This government has that mantra, has that label of, talking first before they go back to the drawing table.
Very true. It just reminds me of removal of subsidy.
The president told us on the 29th of May, subsidy is gone.
Yes, so.
When there was no plans to cushion
on ground
to cushion the effect of that subsidy that Nigerians were going to face.
Spot on.
So exactly what we are facing with what came out on Wednesday after the FEC meeting. There was no arrangement with the transport companies. If the federal government is actually genuine in giving Nigerians, palliative in traveling to their respective states during this U-tide, this preparation would have started way back since November.
But jurors, you are more interested in this transportation issue. What of the buying of Naira?
No. We have to first. The buying of Naira has become an issue with Naira, but have become what we are used to.
We are used to.
Exactly.
Oh.
For 2 years, that
For 2
consecutively.
years, it used to be fuel.
Yes, yeah, but for since last
fuel
year,
has handed over to Naira.
it has become a buying
No,
of
but there's
Naira.
scarcity of cash in the system.
Yes,
You
but
go to
the
POS.
big question is, since MFA told us last year that there was scarcity in what they printed. What has the federal government been doing ever since?
Good question.
To make sure that
No, but-
what happened in MFA's government
Does not happen in this new one.
Yes.
And at least they are 7 months old.
This
Can
is
I
7
interject?
months.
Yes.
Can I interject? I think some of the expectations from of this new government, ran over the bar. When they came in, they gave the impression that there was too much Naira in the system.
And they needed to
And that
mop
they
up.
were mopping up the Naira. I started warning people. I said there's going to be a crisis. Because I wonder where the Naira these people are talking about is. Don't forget, at a point, people started converting their money into dollars. Because dollar has now become a tradable commodity in Nigeria.
Yes.
So a lot of people have withdrawn their money from their accounts, converted it to dollars. Instead of taking them back to their domiciliary accounts, they built safes in their homes where they store money. Yes, you can go and investigate. You can go and verify. Yes. So what happens is that what people now do, because it's a business now, you see people openly telling people, go keep your money, convert your money to dollars because it will keep rising.
Okay.
And you keep making money from that.
The problem of Nigeria remains the same, corruption.
Okay.
And until we can reduce corruption to a manageable, tolerable level, nothing can function in this system.
Okay. All right. When we come back, Juror Emeka Madunagu will be going to Nnamdi Kanu's cell. Please stay with us. We'll be right back.
Middleman.
Yeah, I'm Juro Emeka Madunagu, and I'm looking at Nnamdi Kanu's case imperative for a political solution. The Supreme Court last week upturned the decision of the Court of Appeal to set the leader of the proscribed indigenous peoples of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, free. The decision expectedly generated mixed reactions, with many saying the Supreme Court chose law over expediency. They said that considering the security problems in the country, the apex court should have upheld the decision of the Court of Appeal in order to reduce the tension in the country. And that the Supreme Court found nothing unlawful in the rendition of the IPOB leader from Kenya to Nigeria was quite perplexing. The apex court, however, offered a window of opportunity to the IPOB leader. Here is my ruling. The Tinubu'S administration should pursue a political solution to ensure his speedy release. Pursuing a judicial angle to the matter, despite glaring deficiencies in the case presented by the prosecution, will only serve to worsen matters. I so rule.
I wonder why Nnamdi Kanu's case seems unending. The Tinubu administration has inherited this case from the Buhari administration. And, in law, you say that justice delayed is justice denied. He's been held. They haven't even started his trial. They are still examining, should we even try him? Should we free him? As he, I don't think that his human rights are being upheld. That's my personal opinion. I don't know what the Nigerian judges think about this, but this doesn't feel right at all.
The thing is that the case is somewhat political and it was somewhat criminal, because Nnamdi Kanu is not an innocent man walking the streets before he was apprehended, or a man eating popcorn in his living room with his wife and children. He was a man that was inciting violence. He was a man that built up an institution that turned the Southeast upside down, be it IPOB, be it ESN, and all the other associations that emanated from this group. So he has caused a lot of trouble. One, the Nigerian constitution makes it that Nigerian unity is inviolable. Therefore, any attempt at the dismemberment of Nigeria is an offense. And you listen to his tapes, you see a lot of violent talk. It's inciting people against the law, shoot the soldiers, kill them, take their guns. So he's a man that has committed an offense, allegedly. So he needs to be tried. And if found guilty,
When will
convicted, and
the
if
trial
found-
start?
I am
You
not
have
a
held
lawyer, I
him.
am not a judge, I am not in a
Isn't
position
it a violation
to
of his right to hold him
That's-
without trying
That
him?
is for his lawyers to determine. But as a layman's gumption, he needs to go to court, he needs to be tried, convicted, or set free. This case about political solution to douse the tension in the Southeast, I have issues with.
That is the reason why we are calling on speedy trial, so that justice can be meted at, and Nigerians will know that he has gone to the appropriate court and he has been jailed or set free, so that the tension in Southeast can reduce.
That's it.
As it is now, the IPOB, you just made mention of, and the ESN are saying Nnamdi Kanu is their leader and he must be released. So if Nnamdi Kanu is released or he's been tried and jailed or set free, then these marauders who are now, hiding under the name of Nnamdi Kanu to commit crime in Southeast will now be dealt with if caught in the criminality.
But I have a question.
As it is now, they are using the name because they felt that their leader is unjustly being incarcerated.
So the Nigerian state is unable to secure itself. Is that what we're saying? That a few people can come together and say,
Non-state
Unfortunately
actors
so.
and hold a whole state to ransom.
Unfortunately so.
And the governors, the federal government, the state government can do nothing about it. It boggles the mind.
it does.
Yeah, it
Because
still
it therefore
makes you
means,
want to
it therefore means that if Jumoke gets up now and say, oh, we must have Yoruba nation,
Oduduwa Republic.
and whatever name that we call it, and start to instigate a few people, the Nigerian state is unable to protect itself from such non-state actors.
Yeah, that is why I'm making the case for a political solution, because there's a legal maxim that says it's better to let 10 guilty people go
99 actually.
99 guilty people go scot-free than for one innocent person
To be jailed.
to suffer
You
injustice.
see innocent?
So you see, no.
But that's not for you and I to judge.
The people of the Southeast are clearly traumatized by the mix of events around this issue. Now, why do I say so? It's unfortunate that ethnic irredentism has become a major challenge in Nigeria. It has become a tool by which people have advanced different political interests. And so, when we look at the trial, we'll find out that, for instance, his rendition to Nigeria is still a big matter. It violates a number of treaties, and it's a criminal
Well, but they
act
said
by
that
the
the
Nigerian
Kenya-
government in itself.
Yeah.
So, but the Supreme Court chose to overlook that. That doesn't make it right. So, whatever the court tries to do in terms of his trial at this stage will still have that tinge of illegality by reason of
Well, the Nigerian government said they spoke to the Kenyan government too. I don't know how true.
I don't in any way agree with that. He declared a war on the Nigerian state.
Allegedly, you need to prove
Okay,
it
he
in the court.
allegedly
You need
declared
to prove
a
it in
war
the court.
on the Nigerian government.
Can he have his day in court to defend himself? He is innocent
That would be
until proven
In
guilty.
other cases, you sorted them out. You sorted other cases out with a political solution. There was Gani Adams, there was Freddie Fashion.
There was what's the Yoruba Sunday Igboho, God bless you. So what's special about Nnamdi Kanu? To the same Nigerian state that is releasing terrorists on a daily basis and saying that we are rehabilitating them. What's special about Nnamdi
The
Kanu?
majority of Nigerians are opposed to the release of Boko Haram members on amnesty. Okay, the thing is,
And regardless of this, they are releasing them and paying them 20,000 every month. We send them abroad.
When you set Nnamdi Kanu free, Is it on the condition that he continues with his Biafranism?
We are not saying to set him free.
No, political solution. We are talking about political solution.
Judgment on his matter.
That's
know where he
exactly. That's what I stand
He has
for.
been incarcerated since 2001,
Let there
2021
be
to now.
judgment.
So the Supreme Court,
Let there be a
don't forget,
trial
the Supreme
and a
Court
judgment.
also said that they gave him a window of opportunity that he could pursue it from another angle, which definitely the political solution can arise
The
from.
president has the right to let him go on political grounds. It's the prerogative of the president.
That-
But the
and that's what I'm
question, the
pushing.
danger is, do you do it on the grounds that he stops his Biafranism or continue with his Biafranism?
Let the intent lead. Let the intent
Which
lead
remains
to
a
desired
violation.
outcome.
Exactly.
So
Let
the
the
best
intent-
thing as far as concerned is to have a trial and a conviction or a setting free or well, convict him or let him go. Then that settles the matter.
But you see, that doesn't, also in the interest of justice, looking at justice critically, and juxtaposing it with other cases which were mentioned, that would be unfair.
No.
That would be unfair because you see,
You've laid a precedent with all other sorts of cases.
Secondly, we all admit that there are a lot of things that count for injustice in the Nigerian system.
But
The Nigerian system. So we now have a golden opportunity to use this as a stepping stone to righting
the problem
the
of
wrongs.
Nnamdi Kanu is compounded by the fact that the Igbo political elite are not comfortable with him. They are because
So it now seems more like a political witch hunt.
because
The elite are gathered.
Are the
gathered
Hausa
by soldiers.
elites, are the Fulani elites, are they comfortable with the terrorists that are captured, rehabilitated, released, and paid money on a monthly basis?
thing is
On
that
a
Nnamdi
sincere
Kanu-
note, on a sincere note, the Igbo elite, both the political and the Ohanese Igbo and whatever, they should come together.
It doesn't that they're not comfortable with it.
No,
It's no longer an issue.
If you look at it, Kanu is fighting a lone.
They have to find a way to
power
accommodate
structure.
him. After all, Yoruba leaders like Professor Banji Akintoye, they have accommodated Sunday Igboho.
Yes.
They have reached out to him because
Because-
they have found out that even Obasanjo, a former president, former military officer, they found out that if we isolate this man and leave him to continue as a loose cannon, it will do us more harm than good. So it's best. Let us try to accommodate him.
Nnamdi Kanu, the Obi of Onitsha, the most powerful traditional ruler in Igbo land, is a saboteur. He's a slave of the
Sunday
Hausa.
Igboho said,
All of
Sunday
it.
Igboho
So he messes
said
up
some
everywhere.
other heavy things.
So
Yeah, you're not talking about what people are saying. Terrorists that are killing
He
people.
doesn't-
You know,
They are not just saying, they are killing
So
people.
the Igbo
They are
power
rehabilitating
elite
them.
against
No, the Igbo power elite, let me
because they are
tell you.
not comfortable.
The Igbo power elite, can I tell
Let me
you what?
remove my cap. Let us go home.
When we come back, Tuchukwueze Kama goes to Rivers State.
Middleman.
Here is my case, the political crisis in Rivers State. Nigerians have been riveted by the political crisis in Rivers State. This crisis is a classical case of a failed attempt by a political godfather to rein in his political protege. There will always be political godfatherism in Nigerian politics. Actually, political godfatherism is a universal phenomenon. However, the issue is what is the motivation or the objectives of the political godfather? In some saner climes, while political fathers want to continue to exert influence on governance from behind the scene, they are still driven by decency and morals. But on the other hand, in the vast scene of confusion that is our beloved country, political godfathers are usually motivated by greed and arrogance. In Rivers State, Wike's megalomania and pompousness are on a rampage. He wants to reduce a state governor to a slave boy. Wike's arrangement with Governor Fubra makes it impossible for Fubra to govern. Wike will in effect remain the governor of the state for all practical purposes. But we've known of clashes between political godfathers and their political proteges in the past. For example, in Enugu, Abia, Imo, and Edo. My ruling, my recommendation is that the governor should sit tight, know that he has been mandated by the people to govern them for the next 4 years, and therefore deal with Wike, and if possible, punch the daylight out of him.
Okay.
Politically.
I totally disagree with you, sir. Who voted Governor Sim Fubara? Who? Please, we saw the elections and how it happened. So when a godfather puts you in seat of position, you do what Sim Fubara did. You got to renegotiate with him quickly and throw everyone else under the bus. People were saying, but oh, governor, why is Wike trying to do to him what he refused Governor Amechi to do to him? You know, and the next thing we hear, president calls closed door meeting, they have all signed, and we're back to square one. I beg, they should just go and rearrange themselves. Somebody put him in place, he should go and play ball.
So it's a one-man game.
He should not just involve us. It was never.
Again, you have to
never about the people.
You have to look it from this angle that the voters of Rivers people, the Rivers people that voted Fubara, did not vote Wike any longer. Therefore, the 8 years they gave to Wike is gone and gone forever.
Sure.
Leave this young man to also work and act on his 8 years. Where he makes mistakes, let the Rivers people judge him. Not you.
Elvis.
Not you who have had your 8 years uninterrupted.
Jura
That's what we are
Elvis.
talking about.
Wike said, go and ask anyone in Rivers State if they bought their forms by themselves.
Those were the
So
manipulations.
When somebody comes to tell you that,
That you buy the will of the people of the state. Now one man buy the will of the people of the state.
I think what
He bought their forms, that's
I think
right.
what Wike is doing is
holding Rivers by the jugular.
Yes.
and which is
And
very
he
wrong.
was fair, he was fair.
He has turned by his actions and his utterances, he has turned the franchise freely given to the people by the constitution into a business. And it should not be that. He's been talking about how he bought forms for everybody, how he paid for
Why
it.
should he even buy for
In fact, he ought to
Let him buy forms, but you cannot buy the franchise of the people. You cannot buy the will of the people.
That was Rivers State government money. He used the buy for them.
Was his father Dangote? Where did the money come from? It's not stolen
What
money.
business
Stolen money, yes.
money? Where did he get such money? Why is he holding Rivers
He
State?
wasn't a distinguished professional. He wasn't a distinguished businessman. So where did his money come from? It was free money. It was corruption money.
That
So let him go and sit down.
the national chairman of APC received the defecting lawmakers who abandoned the sacred mandate of the people is a disgrace. And honestly,
Sir, they were not on the mandate of any people. That's my own argument.
They were sponsored or held by people, but it's the people that voted for them.
INEC declared them. INEC said
and they have not been,
the mandate is INEC mandate.
INEC said that they have the will of the people.
authorized
INEC said that the people
in
voted
Nigeria.
for him and he won, or for those other individuals.
Okay, so what you want Sim Fubara to do now? Tell me.
If unless he is not a savvy politician, the governor is so powerful, so empowered by the constitution that he has the right.
Governor that was locked out of national state
He has
assembly.
the resources.
They
He has the
brought down
resources
state
to
assembly
deal with
and watered
put him
him.
in his place. Yeah, those are temporary victories, but on the long run, any savvy governor, political savvy governor will triumph in this fight.
But the guy has gone back under his godfather. Why are you fighting?
No, he did not effect any of the agreement.
He's riding the time
Yeah.
and waiting for the right time.
He didn't withdraw the case in court. All that was stated in the 8-point agreement.
Sir, what if Supreme Court now even say, oh yeah, the election was rigged?
That would be a different
Well, that's a
ballgame.
different
By
law.
that
There are
time,
actually done.
Remember that Wike is a lawyer. Oh.
Which kind of lawyer? Charge and bail.
Charge and bail.
According to Papa Henry Clark. According to Papa Henry.
What are the landmark cases?
One before
What landmark cases?
Okay, all right. When we return, Juro Elvis Elimihele still has one foot on this River State matter. Please stay with us. We'll be right back.
Middleman.
My case, the usurping powers of Godfather in Nigeria politics. The case between Governor Similaye Fubara and former Governor Nyesom Wike. It is no longer hearsay that Governor Sim Fubara, the executive governor of Rivers State, a state that prides itself as the treasure base of the nation, has locked up horns with his political godfather, former Governor Wike. Historically, Rivers State was created in May 1967 during the Civil War by the then head of state, General Gowon. General Gowon then appointed Colonel D.P. Spieth as the first military administrator of the newly created Rivers State. Colonel Spieth is an Ijaw ethnic man, military officer from the old Rivers State. It is important for us to know that the newly created Rivers State constitutes the riverine areas inhabited by the Ijaws who have not produced a governor since the start of the Fourth Republic. Before his election as governor of Rivers, Mr. Fubara was the chief accountant to former Governor Wike and had the promise of becoming the first riverine governor since 1999. Governor Wike saw Fubara as a technocrat and not a core politician. Therefore, he may not betray his support after ascending the governorship seat. However, less than 6 months after his swearing in, things are falling apart between the political godfather and his godson. It has degenerated to the extent that majority of the lawmakers from the Rivers State House of Assembly decided to serve the new governor an impeachment notice. Here comes the big question on the lip of every Nigerian. What is the offense of Fubara? 27 lawmakers have gone ahead to defect from the ruling PDP to APC, the party that has sway at the federal level. As if that is not enough, 9 cabinet commissioners have also resigned from the government of Sim Fubara. These 27 legislators and the 9 resigned commissioners are loyal to former Governor Wike, who is now being referred to as Emperor Wike. We are still asking the question of what is the governor's offense when we heard that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has invited the warring parties to Aso Rock for mediation. In Abuja, the president gave out 8 points of resolution to the sitting governor and ordered the parties in the conflict to sheath their sword. The biggest of the question is, where are the Rivers people who elected the governor to serve them for the next 4 years? My ruling: democracy, by simple definition, is the government of the people, by the people, and for the people. If this definition is anything to go by, the voice of the river people must be heard and supersede every other interloper in the matter, including the purported mediation by the president to avoid anarchy. In conclusion, Rivers people are entitled to good governance, rule of law, welfare, security, etc. The former governor's greed must not rob them of their right and dividend of democracy.
Yeah, it's very important to note that this is all about the people. And like you rightly stated, that all these political shenanigans coming from Abuja, be it from former Governor Wike or President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, they all seem to be insensitive to the central issue, which is the people. This man has the will of the people. This man was elected by the people to govern them for the next.
I threw away my cap on this thing. Which people?
That elected him, and he should serve the people.
Which people?
There was an election.
Was that an election? Now I want to remove my dress.
For me, I think basically the reason why some of us are very vehement about restructuring the country is the fact that Abuja has been a big problem, has been, a big
Too powerful.
Too powerful.
and has been undermining democracy in this country. So definitely this.
But Juro Emeka,
Yes.
Governor Wike is actually effectively the governor of Abuja if Abuja was a state.
Yes.
Why is he distracted? Because he wants to hold on to power.
It's because, you see, Wike lacks a basic understanding of the rudiments of power. You see, you don't try to dim a rising star because you want to remain the constant star. What happens is that the constant star will burn out.
No, but
So that star needs to be, that star, the illumination of that star,
You need to allow him shine.
sustained by other stars. So he is missing one vital point, that his insistence on controlling
Rivers.
the governor of a state is actually a slap on the faces
is
of
a governor a junior boy in a secondary school? That his predecessor will sign checks.
We should simply walk away.
Appoint the
Otherwise-
15 of the 16
Otherwise, the people of the state
Commissioners.
will
his chief of
take
staff,
action against
is
him.
everything, everybody.
He's attorney general and commissioner of justice.
All the juicy commissioners.
He appointed all of them.
15 out of 16.
Came from
Yeah.
him.
He's
And even
ADC.
suggested that chief of staff,
Yes.
which we normally refer to as the man that put the pillow at the neck of the president or governor before he sleeps, came from Wike. So I mean,
And he
how
cannot-
how
Can
is
I
such
remind-
young man?
can I
The
remind-
governor cannot approve of any
Can I
expenditure
remind-
more than 50 million.
Can I
Anything
remind,
less than that
can I
must be
remind
approved by.
Wike? Let me remind Wike of certain things that happened in the history of this country. Let me remind him of Rauf Aregbesola, who ruled for 9 months without commissioners. He was still a governor for 8 years. Let me remind him about Obaseki,
Yes.
who ruled for 4 years,
4 years.
without a
House of Assembly. House of Assembly.
Let me remind him of Muhammadu Buhari, who was president of the country and at the point was ruling by executive orders. So he ought to know
That anything can happen.
You see, there are options open to a governor who is out to hold on to his mandate.
Yes.
Fubarak can run that state without a cabinet.
Juros.
Fubarak can run that state
Juros.
with executive orders.
Juros.
In addition to that,
I have a
he
question.
should also be reminded that even him as sitting governor drove Amechi, who his predecessor, out of Rivers.
True.
Throughout his 8 years.
Till today.
Yes.
Till today.
Till today.
Amechi is personal non grata in Rivers State.
Amechi, as it is now, we don't even know the party he
He
belongs.
doesn't have a base.
Now that the emperor is trying to come into APC, as we are hearing a rumor.
He destroyed
Then
Amechi's power
completely.
yes.
Amechi is nowhere. So he should also know that
Juros.
something can happen to him.
I have a question.
Yes, we're listening.
Is democracy working for Nigeria?
It is.
Not
but for now,
democracy.
With
Democracy adapted
but
to
there
the
are
Nigerian reality.
things working against democracy.
I think
is
The
that
Nigerian people must insist that this rule by strong men has to be destroyed.
Exactly, that's exactly what I'm
How?
saying.
How?
Strong men.
How?
By
Building
actions like NSAS,
Okay.
actions like the way Nigerians ruled stoutly during the last election, even though they were undermined by anti-democratic forces.
In INEC.
In INEC, in the executive, in the
In
judiciary.
the judiciary.
But we must keep hope alive because I still believe that democracy will triumph at the end in Nigeria. I give you the example of the United States of America. Up until the ascendancy of J.F. Kennedy as the president of America, you see, politicians had a free reign. As a matter of fact, the father of J.F. Kennedy was one of the people who made politics a venture until he got to a point where his son said, ask not what the United States of America, what your country will do for you,
Ask
but
what
you will do for your country.
The-
I believe Nigeria will
the
get to that.
Nigerian democracy is working, but the Nigerian style. Democracy has to be adapted to the peculiarities of every country. England is Britain is a democracy, but with a monarchy. Is the monarchy not antithetical to democracy? But they had to marry the two together for their own.
Our own is presidential.
Yes,
it
but
is
it's still-
parliamentary.
it's still
And then
democracy.
there is still monarchy from different 400 regions.
We have to marry it together the Nigerian way.
Perfectly. The people are not sidetracked.
Mm.
By the people are, by the time the people are removed from democracy, you are calling for anarchy.
Take note
The
that
thing is that democracies evolve.
even in the United
Democracies
States
evolve.
that has had the best example of democracy in the world. You had a tyrant called Donald Trump, who was only got
but the
shot by
institution
was able to check him. Not the powerful individual. The system.
That's
What we
why
are
we
talking
need-
about as that system in Nigeria that can regulate any president that comes to power. Tinubu inviting a state governor who was also elected the same way he was elected to come to Abuja.
God bless you, sir. God bless you. God bless you. What kind of democracy is a president calling
It's a
governor?
Nigerian style democracy.
We must stress it clearly that Tinubu should not consider himself into a danger to Nigeria.
He is a danger to Nigerian democracy.
The
He wants to reduce Nigeria to one state, a one-party state.
Secondly, Nigeria is a federation.
Yeah.
It's a union of federating states. So
Mm.
Tinubu is just primus inter pares, first among equals among the governors.
Yes.
It's unfortunate that governors have turned themselves into
Houseboys.
whereas they are on the same level with the president.
Absolutely.
The only place where the president actually has any real executive power is Abuja,
Yeah.
the federal capital territory.
Defense and international affairs.
Affairs. That's how
The
it's
thing
supposed
is
to
that
be, ideally.
power is hypnotic. So most people in power lose their sense of reason. That's what is troubling.
When you do not
Wike.
have proper systems
well,
in
that's-
place.
That's what is wrong with Wike. But if Fubra knows what he's doing, if he gets the right advice, he will deal with Wike, and that false sense of importance, that megalomania will clear off his eyes and reality will dawn on him.
That's the size of the program, the Middlemen today. Do well to click the like button and subscribe to our page on all our social media handles at Enterprise TV 7. Till we come your way again, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
Compliments of the season.
Middleman.